everybody. Welcome to the show. You know where you are, the 9 at 9 with me, Tigo. And one of our VIP experts is back. Yep, it's that time. We're going to sit down and talk with our good buddy, Michelle Petties. And because it's February, because y'all got this love thing going on, we're going to talk about relationships Michelle's way. So sit right there. We'll be right back.
Expert Talk is sponsored by Pod Nation TV, the podcast to broadcast network.
Yeah, you heard me right. It's February. We've been talking about relationships and love all month long. And I had to bring Michelle back because she's one of our VIP experts. And we're going to talk about loving yourself and a relationship with yourself. Am I right, Michelle?
Yes, you are. You're right on the money.
So, okay, one of the things that I have to say is usually women especially have the hardest time putting themselves first, loving themselves. They're worried about their significant other. They're worried about their kids, their parents. Heck, they're worried about the puppy before they're worried about themselves. So they don't even get to the point. They're too tired by the end of the day to even think about loving yourself. So talk to me. How do you get started loving yourself, and why the heck is that important?
Yeah, sometimes when I think about that question, because it comes up, pretty frequently, this notion of self-love and this notion of self-care. And on one level, I think, oh my God, what an absurd question. Of course, I love myself, right? Do you love yourself? Of course we love ourselves. But it gets a little twisted because sometimes we don't always treat ourselves in a loving manner. Right. And that's how it get obscured. And then we have to start thinking about, all right, what is love? Really? What is self? Right. And we have to really kind of peel back the layers on what those two words mean for real to get to the essence of the answer. And the thing that comes up for me really almost always is when I'm flying, right? When I'm flying. Okay. What do they say? The flight attendant comes on and they say, in the case of loss in cabin pressure, put your mask on first, and then put the mask on of someone else that can't put it on for themselves, right?
Exactly. Definitely.
So what that means is that in order for us to love someone else fully, we need to be able to love ourselves fully. We need to love ourselves first and serve from ourself rather than them. And people think that this self-sacrifice place takes them to some noble place, but it doesn't. It doesn't get your needs met, nor does it get the needs of the person that you're trying to serve met. So we have to not think of self-love or self-care as selfish, right?
Ooh.
We have to think of self-love and self-care as necessary. It's necessary and a requirement to serve those around us. It's necessary that we serve ourselves first.
Now, see, now you didn't tell me you're going to come on here and preach today. I didn't wear my preaching colors today, but you are definitely telling the truth. And, people actually, myself, I'm guilty of it too. Oh, I'll get to me tomorrow. I'll get to me later. I'll take care of that. I'm going to tell you a funny story, a real quick funny story. The company that makes the dog food for my dogs, everybody knows I love my puppies. And the company that makes that dog food, they can't get it in because of COVID, right? So I'm going, oh my goodness, where am I going to find this food? I can't change their food. I got to make sure they're eating right. They're eating the right nutrition. They're eating what the doctor said. I drove all over town. I'm online. I'm everywhere, picking up cans here and there to keep them on their food. But then I come home from work. I get done with interviews or whatever I'm doing today. And instead of taking that time for myself, and making sure I'm taking care of me, I'll throw a frozen pizza in the oven. I'll grab a peanut butter sandwich. I'll do whatever. But I don't think the same way that I think even for my puppies. So
Yes.
you sitting here
Yes.
talking about loving yourself, you are definitely preaching to the choir, and I'm sitting in the first pew. Go ahead. I'm listening.
Well,
I got you.
you know what happens, Theresa? Sometimes is we get out of the habit. We get out of the habit of making self-honoring choices.
Yeah.
We and so we have to start taking steps to making ourself a priority and getting used to what that feels like. Because here's the thing, is that when we start making self-honoring choices about our emotions, right?
Mhm.
Um, when we start making self-honoring choices about the foods that we eat,
Mhm.
then that makes us better. That makes us better for the people that are in our world. But
Yeah.
see, but we have attached certain meanings to the things that we do. We have attached certain meanings to certain actions. And I will tell you this really quick story. Um,
Yes.
I was coaching one of my clients, and she said, well, I care for my mother, and my mother likes her food a certain way. And I have to taste it to make sure that it has the right amount of this, that, and the other in it. And
Right. Right. Right.
we were in a place where we were talking about sugar, right?
Okay.
And I'm like, well, first of all, sugar's not even food, but we won't go down that road today. And
Okay.
so she's caring for her mother. Her mother is there, and I know her. I know her, and I know her mother. And her mother's vocal. She's not shy by any means.
Okay.
So I said, well, tell me something. If you make something for your mom that is not seasoned exactly the way she wants, what's going to happen? And she says, well, she's going to tell me to season it. I said, so it doesn't have to be exactly right. If it's a
Right.
little off and it doesn't have quite enough sugar, she'll tell you and you just add some more. So you don't really have to eat it. You don't really have to taste it. Well, no, I guess I don't. All right, another question for you. How long has your mother been living with you? Well, she's been living with me a couple of years. All right. And my friend she's my age. She's a little older, as a matter of fact. And
Okay.
how long have you been making this food item? Since I'm a teenager. So you know how to make it.
Mm. You're just calling people out today.
But
Okay. All right.
but so but he but here, Theresa, here's a deeper thing about that.
Okay.
The deeper thing about that is that she loves her mother. And her mother's getting older, and she wants to be a good daughter. She wants to
Right.
be a good daughter, and she wants everything perfect for her mom because
Right.
she sees her ability to provide and take care of and make her mother's circumstance the best blissful as a signal of her love and a signal that she is taking care of and capable of her mother. So she feels deep down, if I'm off, if I make a mistake with this somehow is reflective of me not really caring for my mom.
Wow.
And so that's what all of that was about. And I'm like, girl, your mama loves you. You could give her a plate of spaghetti and she'd be happy because she's just here with you. Not that that's what you're gonna give her, but she's so tight around that making this food and sacrificing her own health for it was in her mind an expression of a love for her mother.
Mm.
And she couldn't separate this food from that. And so we had to work to get to a place where she understood that whatever you serve your mother, as long as it's nutritious and nourishing, and if she wants some more salt, if she wants you to add some butter to it, she'll ask you. You don't have
He'll
to.
let you know.
She'll let you know, and she won't think that you're a bad daughter. she
I love it. I love it. Now, before Alan cuts us off, now you talked about your clients. I know people, I can just call her up, you guys. You may be sitting there saying, how do I get in touch with Michelle? I want her to be my coach. How do I do that? See, I can call her. I don't know if everybody can call you. If somebody wants to reach out to you and say, hey, will you coach me? Will you be my mentor? Is that an option?
Absolutely, absolutely is an option. I am telling you, Theresa, this is my life's work. Once
So,
I've
what's the best place for somebody to do that? How do
the
they
best
reach out to you?
the best place is on my website, which is the name of my book, Leaving Large, leavinglarge.com. And the book is Leaving Large, The Stories of a Food Addict. If you go to my website, there's a place for you to contact me. There's a place for you to download a free chapter of the book. There's also a place for you to purchase the book. And there's a way for you to contact me for speaking engagements if you're looking for a speaker, and for personal coaching in my group.
Awesome. And you guys know, if you're out there and you're driving or you couldn't write it down fast enough, just go to Tigo Direct. You'll find Michelle over there. Click, connect, because this is my girl. She's going to be back next month. I can't wait to see what we talk about next month.